Welcome. Today we will talk about a simple yet powerful word, no. This two-letter word holds immense power, but often we find ourselves struggling to say it. You might be wondering, why is it so hard to utter this seemingly simple word? Well, the reasons are complex and varied. It could be a fear of disappointing others, an innate desire to avoid conflict, or just an overwhelming need to be liked and accepted. But here's a liberating thought. The ability to say no is a skill, not an inborn trait. It is something we can all learn and improve upon with time and practice. It's about setting boundaries, prioritizing our own well-being, and learning to respect our own time and energy. In essence, saying no is an art, one that demands finesse, understanding, and a dash of courage. And just like any other art, it needs to be cultivated, nurtured, and honed. So buckle up as we explore the art of saying no. You might be wondering why it's so important to say no. Well, let's delve into the reasons that make this two-letter word crucial for our well-being and personal growth. Firstly, saying no helps us set boundaries. Imagine your life as a garden. Just as a garden needs fences to protect it from being trampled, our lives need boundaries to safeguard our time, energy, and personal space. When we say no to things that overstep these boundaries, we preserve our garden, nurturing it to flourish rather than wither. Now let's move on to the second reason: maintaining mental health. In our fast-paced world, we often find ourselves juggling multiple responsibilities at once. This can lead to stress, anxiety, and burnout. By learning to say no, we can manage our workload, reducing the pressures that can impact our mental health. Remember, it's okay to prioritize your own well-being over pleasing others. The third reason is personal growth. It might seem counterintuitive, but saying no can actually open doors to new opportunities. When we are bogged down with commitments that do not align with our goals, we are left with little time or energy for things that truly matter to us. By saying no to less important tasks, we make room for pursuits that contribute to our personal and professional growth. Lastly, saying no can boost our self-esteem. Each time you stand up for yourself, you reinforce the belief that your needs are important. This helps build self-confidence, making it easier to express your needs and wants in the future. So, there you have it. Saying no is not about being rude or dismissive. It's about setting boundaries, maintaining mental health, promoting personal growth, and building self-esteem. It's about respecting your own time and space. Remember, saying no is not about being rude, it's about respecting your own time and space. Knowing when to say no is just as important as knowing how to. So let's delve into the different situations where it may be necessary to say no, and how you can recognize them in your own life. First and foremost, it's crucial to say no when you're already overwhelmed. Imagine you're juggling multiple responsibilities at work, at home, or in your personal life. If you're already stretched thin and someone asks you to take on yet another task, it's okay, and even necessary, to say no. Next, consider situations where your values or beliefs are compromised. For instance, if you're asked to participate in something that goes against your core values, it's not only okay to say no, it's vital. Standing firm in your convictions is a powerful way to respect yourself and those around you. Also, it's important to say no when the request is something you genuinely don't want to do, not out of laziness or apathy, but because it doesn't align with your interests, goals, or passions. Remember, your time is valuable and it's important to spend it in ways that bring you joy and fulfillment. Lastly, consider saying no when you're not the best person for the job. Perhaps the task requires a skill set that you don't possess, or someone else could do it more efficiently. By saying no in these situations, you're not only being honest about your capabilities but also giving others the opportunity to shine. Now, it's important to remember that saying no doesn't mean you're being rude or selfish. On the contrary, it's about protecting your time, energy, and emotional well-being. It's about setting boundaries and prioritizing what truly matters to you. In conclusion, recognizing when to say no comes down to understanding your limits, respecting your values, and acknowledging your wants and needs. It's about knowing your worth and not being afraid to express it. After all, every time you say yes to something you don't want, you're essentially saying no to something you do. Recognizing these situations is the first step towards mastering the art of saying no. Now that we know when to say no, let's learn how to actually do it. Saying no is an art, and like any art, it requires practice and mastery. But don't worry, we're here to give you the tools you need to become a maestro in the art of refusal. First up, the direct no. This is the simplest form of refusal, and it's as straightforward as it sounds. You simply say no, without any embellishments, justifications, or excuses. For instance, If you're asked to take on an extra project at work when you're already overloaded, you might respond, "I'm sorry, but I can't take on any more work at the moment." Next, we have the reasoned no. This is when you provide a brief explanation for your refusal. It's important to keep it concise and to the point. For example, if a friend asks you to go out when you're trying to save money, you could say, "I'd love to, but I'm really trying to save money right now." Then there's the rain check no. This is when you can't commit to something right now, but you're open to doing it in the future. It's a great way to maintain relationships while still maintaining your boundaries. For example, if a colleague invites you to a networking event but you're swamped with work, you might say, "I can't make it this time, but I'd love to go to the next one." The inquiry no is another handy technique. This is when you respond to a request by asking a question that makes the other person reconsider whether they need your help in the first place. For instance, if someone asks you to help them move house, you could ask, "Have you considered hiring professional movers?" Lastly, remember the values no. This is when you decline something based on your personal values or principles. For example, if someone invites you to a party where there'll be activities you're uncomfortable with, you could say, "Thanks for the invite, but those aren't really my kind of activities." Remember, the key to these techniques is to be firm yet respectful. You're not just saying no to the other person, you're saying yes to your own needs, values, and priorities. So the next time you're faced with a request you need to decline, remember these techniques and choose the one that best fits the situation. With these techniques, saying no will become a whole lot easier. Like any skill, the art of saying no requires practice. It's like learning to ride a bike or mastering a new language. At first it can feel strange, even uncomfortable. You might stumble, you might fall, but with each attempt you get better, and it becomes second nature. So, let's start with the small things. Perhaps it's declining an extra task at work when your plate is already full, or saying no to an outing when you just need a quiet night in. Remember, it's okay to prioritize your well-being. Now, it's important to remember that practice doesn't mean perfection. There will be times when saying no will be tough, and you might succumb to the pressure. But don't beat yourself up. Each situation is a learning opportunity, a stepping stone towards mastering this vital skill. As you continue to practice, you'll notice a shift. You'll start to feel more confident, more in control. You'll find that you're better able to manage your time, your energy, and your emotions. You'll start to recognize that saying no isn't about being selfish or rude. It's about respecting yourself, your boundaries, and your needs. So think of saying no as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. And just like any workout, it's all about consistency. So keep practicing. Keep pushing your comfort zone. So go ahead, practice saying no. It might just change your life. And just like that, we've reached the end of our journey. We've traversed the landscape of refusal, exploring why it's important to say no, how to identify when it's time to decline, and various techniques to do so effectively. Remember, saying no isn't about being difficult or unkind. It's about valuing your time, your energy, and yourself. Saying no can be tough, especially when we're afraid of disappointing others or causing conflict. But it's crucial to recognize those moments of discomfort and to set boundaries that prioritize our well-being. We've also discussed how practice can make this process easier. The more we exercise our no muscle, the stronger it becomes. So, don't shy away from those opportunities to stand up for yourself. Embrace them as chances to grow and evolve. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which way of saying no will you work on first? Share with us in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get new video updates.